guys. I got up early this morning, full of energy, so I thought I would do a little warm-up video to get your day started. So just find a comfortable seat. If you have props at home, great. Use your handy-dandy block or a pillow, blanket, or bolster so that you can sit up nice and tall. Find a nice long spine. And once you settle into a comfortable seat, just close your eyes for a moment and take a few breaths here to just arrive more fully. Taking deep inhales and exhaling. First, just start by noticing the breath. Really feeling the breath in its most natural state. See if you can relax the body. Notice where you might be holding on to tension. I like to scan my body starting from the crown of the head and working my way all the way down to my toes. Relaxing the face. Your eyes are closed or at a half gaze, but let the eyelids relax. Relaxing the jaw. And just take a couple of head knobs here. Lifting up the chin, and as you exhale, chin to the chest. So just loosening up, noticing where you feel tension, and whatever sensations you're feeling, just make a note of it. No judgment, no good or bad. Just being aware of what's going on inside the body. So on Monday mornings, we like to start at the head and work our way all the way down to the feet. So no right or wrong here, just finding some movement and beginning to loosen up the smaller muscles before we get into the bigger muscles. Once you've had enough of the head circling, and start to make your way down the body towards the shoulders. Just finding some shrugs of the shoulders up into the ears and then down the back. After you take a couple of rounds, take it in the opposite direction. And once you've had enough there, just pause for a moment, close the eyes, and just notice, maybe feeling a little bit of warmth as you start to invite in movement. And then we'll progress down to some seated cat-cows. So as you inhale, bring the chest forward, let the whole front open up. And then as you exhale, round the spine, let yourself cave in. So moving with your own breath, inhaling opens the heart. Exhale, rounding. Preparing the spine, waking up this morning. Making your way back to center, again, sitting up nice and tall. Notice if you've started to slump in your seat, and just bring your awareness to the belly, lifting up so that the spine is long. Your core is strong, but it's also relaxed. And it's kind of a weird feeling to kind of like have your belly out there, but also still be sitting up nice and tall. So when you find yourself slumping, just say oops and come back up to a nice tall posture. So bringing your hands to heart center, inviting in some deeper movements, taking a big breath in, reach the arms up overhead. And as you exhale, draw the hands down to the heart. Inhaling, reaching, lifting, exhale, hands to the heart. One more time here, inhaling and exhaling. And now we'll introduce a little bit of a twist. Inhaling, reach the arms up, and then exhale, just twisting to the right. Inhale, lift the chin, lift the heart, sit up nice and tall, and then on the exhale, you're twisting a little bit deeper, looking to the side. Inhaling, rising up, coming back to center, and then right over to the opposite side. Inhaling, sit up nice and tall, and exhale, you twist. Let this twist come from the belly, spine is long. Exhale, takes the twist a little bit deeper. Inhaling, making your way back to center. Reach as tall as you can. Keep reaching through the arms, but keep your butt rooted down on your block or on the ground. Keep lifting up through the fingertips and then draw your belly in. Keep the rib cage nice and tight. Keep reaching and exhale, bring the hands down. So now starting to transition to hands and knees, removing your block or any props that you have in the way, making your way to hands and knees. So anybody can do this practice at home. It's just a gentle warming up, getting the body ready for more movement. So finding a nice tabletop position, you've got your wrists directly underneath the shoulders and the knees directly underneath the hips. On an inhale, let the belly drop, lift the head, lift the tail. And then exhale, round the spine, make a big C with the back. So moving with your own breath, exhaling. And then after a couple of rounds of cat-cow, you can start to invite in whatever movement that you'd like. Taking it a little bit freestyle, maybe circling through the hips. Continuing with cat-cows. And then I always like to do a little bit of floating forward and back. So it's like a modified child's pose and a modified cobra. Warming up the spine, but take it easy. It's still early on in the practice. Always just noticing, getting the crackles out. So take as much time as you need here, and then your next resting spot is going to be in child's pose. So letting the forehead touch down, arms are extended, your hips are reaching back towards the heels, the forehead touches down, and you surrender to the pose. Check in with your breathing here. And let it flow nice and slow. When you notice you've strayed away from the breath, just make a little note and come back to breathing. From our child's pose, we're just going to slide onto the belly and take a couple of rounds of cobra. So positioning your hands underneath the shoulders. Make sure your legs are heavy and the elbows are nice and tight to the rib cage. So on an inhale, just gently press into the hands and lift up, not too high. And then exhale, we lower down. Do that 2 more times. Inhaling, try to stay low, elbows tight. And then exhaling, lower. One final time for Cobra. And lower down. And then your next stop is either going to be Child's Pose, a tabletop, or Downward Facing Dog. If you're going into Downward Facing Dog, starting from table, walk your hands out just a little bit from a normal tabletop. Let your belly relax, kind of finding the tailbone a little bit higher than the belly. Keep the core nice and engaged, and then lift the hips. Make your way to Downward Facing Dog. And when you get there, same thing that we've been doing, moving around, making your way through the pose, just feeling the body. So maybe you bend one knee and then the other. Pedaling the feet. You're rooting down through the hands and the feet. So starting there, building your foundation. As you're rooting down into the heels, you're also lifting the hips to the sky. Take as much time as you need here. And then when you start to get a little bit tired, come back to a seated position. So you can do this little warm-up anytime you want. It's just a nice way to get your day started. It's about the first 10 to 15 minutes of a regular practice that we do in the studio. I hope you enjoyed. There'll be more to come.